Most tools in Purple Mash have uses beyond being part of the computing curriculum. This video aims to help demonstrate how the tool 2Respond, which is found within 2Email, could be used to help structure and develop scientific investigation skills. First, it's important to check the settings for 2Email are correct so that your pupils are able to email you with their information. You can do this by accessing the 2Email tool and then accessing the 2Email settings section. Finding your class on the left-hand side. For example, if I'm doing this experiment with class 3, if I click on the class settings, I can see their current setup. And this science investigation will involve children emailing me with their information. So it's really important to ensure that allow emailing to staff members is set to yes. You can of course revert any of these settings once you've finished with the activity. Now that setting has been changed, it's time to set up your 2Respond. To create a 2Respond, you can click on the 2Respond Creator button. I'm going to create my own 2Respond rather than choose from the preset list here. So I'm going to opt to choose Create Blank. It will now give me the options to create a sender who will be sending the children the emails. So I'm going to choose to have the children receive an email from a scientist. And the investigation that we're going to look at is how plants can grow in different conditions. So I'm going to choose a picture of a botanist. Now you might see that there's previous images I've uploaded for previous characters. So today I'm going to create a brand new character by clicking the Create Character button. I'm going to give my character a name. And I'm going to create an icon. I've saved an icon for Dr. Botanist on my computer, so I'm going to click Choose File, but children or yourself can search from within the image library. So now I've got my icon, I'm going to assign this character so that it can be used with either different classes or groups. Because I'm working with class 3 at the moment, I'm going to select class 3. However, as you can see, you can choose multiple classes that this character can be available for. I'm now going to click Create and use this character. I'm now going to add an icon image and I will do the same. I'll add a leaf. So now it's opened up the 2Respond email thread. This is where I can design and structure the number of emails I want to be given to the children. I can create subjects and contents, and I'll show you now how I'm going to set up my 2Respond to help structure my Year 3 children's plant investigation. I'm going to give my email thread a subject, and I'm just going to call it Plant Investigation. Now, you can choose your preferred font and text layout, different font families from the list here. I'm going to just ask a simple question. What are you going to investigate? Now, if I want to make it lovely, I can make it nice and big. I can change the font style here and so on. So if you want to also add some additional support materials for the children, you might want to attach a file with some hints and some tips, maybe some discussion points that you've made previously. You can find them from within your saved file area within Purple Mash. So I'm just going to give a simple question, what are you going to investigate? And I want the children to then reply and tell me what they are going to investigate. And then once they've replied, my following query to them will be, what equipment will you need? Now, I'm going to create a series of different questions within this 2Respond for the children to respond to. So I'll just speed it up a little bit and then we'll catch up with how we can share this with the children. Okay, so now I'm happy with the number of emails I've sent to the children. I can click through the individual ones just to check that I've maybe made the correct font size, layout and everything. This thing here, email delay, allows children to have a little bit more of a realistic approach to replying. If the children reply to you, they get an instant email with the following email in the thread. So if you'd rather have a delay, maybe for a minute or two, then you can include that per email within the actual 2Respond activity. So you can change each one to have a different length of wait that the children might have to wait until they get their response. So here I'm asking the children, what are you going to investigate? What equipment will you need? How will you make it a fair test? What's your prediction? I might just change that font a little bit as well, maybe make it a little bit bigger. And then results. I'm going to actually prompt my children to try and attach pictures of the plants in their experiment and how well they grew. And I'm going to ask them to try and attach a graph or a chart that will help illustrate their results. And at the end, we're going to see if they can make a conclusion. So this is my plan for the 2Respond to give to the children. If I want to have a bit of a preview as to how the children would receive it, I can click the play option. And this will show how it appears from Dr. Botanist, Plants Investigation, and they can open it up. So that's how the children will receive it. So it's from Dr. Botanist, currently to me because that's my account I'm on at the moment. So if I'm ready to share it with the children, all I need to do is click on the share icon and it will prompt me to save. So this is where, if you want, you can add a new subfolder, maybe science investigations, and you can save these here so they can be used in subsequent years. I'm just going to call this Year 3 Science Investigation Plants. And once it's saved, it will then take me through the to-do setting process. So this is where I can add descriptions, I can add verbal or text instructions as well. I might want to embed a YouTube video if I shared it with children in class. And if I want to set it to the whole class, I can click class 3 here. I'm then just going to jump through the process of setting to do and show you how the children will receive it. Okay, so now that's been set, I'll be able to find that to do within my to-do menu. And when any child replies to any of the emails within that 2Respond, I'll be able to see their work there. So let's see what it looks like from a child's perspective. Okay, so if I want to impersonate a child to see how they can view it, I'll select my name at the top and then choose Impersonate Pupil. I can either search for a child's name or just click on Class 3 from the drop-down menu, and I'll go on as Delilah. So Delilah has a notification that she's received the to-do, and if she opens it up, it will take her into her email inbox. So we'll find here, for example, we've got the first email already received, today's date and time from Dr. Botanist, and the subject is Plants Investigation. So we can see here that Delilah has now got the message, what are you going to investigate? And from here, she can then reply. I'll reply for her. Now, Delilah can also change her font style, size, family. She can make it unique to herself and she can add some emojis as well. If she now clicks send, it will be sent to Dr. Botanist, and depending on the length of email delay, she will then receive a reply. So now we've received the reply, she can open that up. What equipment will you need? So this is where, again, she can reply back. And then now Delilah can click send. So this will keep going, the 2Respond, as per the timings that you have put in your activity. The child can then respond answering all the questions that you wanted them to help structure their science investigation. Now, depending on whether your investigation takes place in one day or over a course of weeks or months, depending on what the children are measuring as part of their investigation, the best thing about this is, from your point of view, once the experiment is finished, you can really easily see a big big overview of all the work children have done by printing off the entire email thread. So what I'll do now is I will finish this from Delilah's perspective, and I will show you how you can easily see the structure of the investigation being compartmentalised into nice, easy, small portions for children to work through and share their evidence. Okay, so back on the teacher's account now, Delilah has completed all of the email 2Responds. And if we go back into the to-do folder, we can see we've now got some work in here. So Delilah's work is at the top. And if I select Mark, this allows me to see an overview of the entire conversation between Dr. Botanist and the child. So for every question, we've got an answer. And what's really lovely is that we can print all of this out, and that is the entire structure of the scientific investigation that the child has completed. What's really useful as well is that we do have attachments that are pictures. I think it's come up on a different screen. So for example, here we've got a picture of the different beans that have been attached. And also I believe that Delilah also did a 2 graph of the different seeds and how high they grew. So then we've got some information here that can again be printed out. It could be exported to be used in another program or another writing frame. And we've got all that evidence in one really handy compartmentalized file that helps just to structure and do bite-sized parts of the scientific investigation in one go. Hopefully you see the value of this as a way of being able to just approach scientific investigation from a different way, and the children can practice and refine their 2 email skills. If you're following the Purple Mash unit for computing, then children encounter the 2 email unit in year 3. However, if you've been using 2Responds with some of the pre-made activities like Barnaby Bear or part of online safety activities, they'll be familiar with this format from years 1 onwards. Hopefully this video has given you a flavour and ideas as to how you might want to use 2Respond creatively. As always, please do get in touch with us and let us know if there's any further help or support you might need. Really recommend clicking on the teacher's hat icon on the top, selecting professional development, and if you click on the Mash chat icon, you can book a phone call or a free Teams meeting with us to talk through any of the ideas within this video or any other queries you might have.